Hello everybody, this is the story, Rainbow Village. Yes, Jude really was doing it tough, and Simon Wesley is not having a good life either. Because when Simon was just 18, he was abducted by a man in a black van, and the man threatened to kill him if he didn't cooperate with him. And what he had to do is believe his parents were dead, and this man was his new father. And mind you, Simon kept it well hidden, and he spent the remainder of his childhood with him. At the age of 21, the kidnapper finally let him go, saying, "I am through with you." And after 3 months of working in a crap job at Macca's and living with his wife and kids, Simon had a surprise visitor as he served people at McDonald's. His real mum came in with her grandkids, and at first he couldn't recognise her, but Simon knew it was his mum, even though he was forced to believe she was dead. And when Simon mentioned something that only he and his mum would know, she started a scene of joy because she has been worrying about him for years. And when Simon told her what the man told him, she just said to Simon, "He is a kidnapper, son, and he wanted to keep you away from us. But it's good. God brought you back to us." And when it came to time to talk about grandkids, Simon told his mum that he has a wife named Tina and 2 kids named Tim and Betty. "And I want them to meet you, but you must give me a chance because I told them you were dead, and my wife Tina knows nothing about me being kidnapped. Actually, I was so naive. He gave me away, and I am too afraid to tell the truth because it might hurt her, so said he needs time." His mum said, "Take all the time you want. You were traumatized, and maybe we can have our own little ceremony. It's not your fault you were in the hands of evil." Simon went home, and Tina had just put the babies down for their nap, and he goes into the lounge room to try to tell Tina the truth about him trying to get her to understand that he was too scared to tell the truth. What him being forced to believe that his parents were dead and the kidnapper was his father. But as he told her, Tina was shocked, and instead of Simon giving Simon a shoulder to cry on, she took the kids and left him, and leaving Simon traumatized all over again, giving him a nervous breakdown, and he had to go back home to live with his mother. Yes, Simon didn't see much of his kids from that day, as his kids, it really ate at Simon. Every day that he was apart, seeing that he didn't choose to be kidnapped, but he tried to understand that Tina doesn't understand why he had to lie, and she felt it was for the best. After 20 years, Simon finished working at Macca's and then started working at Maya Cafe as a waiter before going to university where he saw Tina. But Simon was feeling bad, from the breakup. He didn't talk much and tried to get qualifications to be a journalist, which after 4 years study landed him a job at the Sydney Morning Herald, which he enjoyed very much. Footy, a sports writer. And then he met a lady named Yvonne who really liked him, and they really got friendly with each other, and eventually got married and had 2 girls named Fran and Betty, which Simon named himself because he really misses his other Betty. And as he can't be there for the original kids, for circumstances he can't put right, and Yvonne and Simon Just finding this a bit here. And Yvonne and Simon were really friendly with each other, as he never saw Tina again. But Tim and Betty were both brought their families to see their dad. And both Tim and Betty refused to let their kids anywhere near Tina. That's really what he did too. Because they're finding out that Tina refused to let their children near a kidnap victim, because he thinks people who get kidnapped are complete losers. And she died a very lonely woman. But despite no one liking her, everyone went to her funeral, and Yvonne made a pact. Just having a look here to see how it goes down. Just going to have a quick see down here, see what Yvonne does. And I'll just go up here to Yvonne makes a pact again. Looking a bit cool here, just trying. See, no one would actually go to her funeral because she was so mean to that person. She was so mean to that. See, Yvonne makes a pact to not ever walk out on her husband and kids. Now, in retirement, they still live together here at Rainbow Village. And Kenneth didn't want them here either, but tried to warn them that he hates kids. But he really is a right-wing bastard who thinks victims are the real criminals. But there was no way he could keep them out. So for his reasons, and every Christmas, Simon and Yvonne's house at Rainbow Village was lit up with the best Christmas light display ever. And it was also very inspirational, and all the grandkids and the great-grandkids all had fun. It was the coolest Christmas ever. Hope you enjoyed.